The answer will surprise you. Nessie might not exist.
Nessie might not exist.
For decades, the legend of the Loch Ness Monster has captivated the world.
Loch Ness Monster has captivated the world.
Most modern theories suggest a surviving population of long-extinct plesiosaurs. But does this deep-water reptile truly fit within the cold constraints of Loch Ness? Now that we understand the core theory, let's explore the harsh reality. Well, Loch Ness is a young body of water, geologically speaking, and it was carved by glaciers only about 10,000 years ago. This means no ancient marine reptiles could have survived there naturally. The plesiosaurs thrived in warm, shallow Mesozoic seas millions of years ago. The Loch Ness water hovers near freezing, presenting an impossible thermal challenge. A large, cold-blooded reptile would struggle immensely to maintain body temperature. And now that we understand the thermal barrier, let's examine the food source. When a population of large predators requires a vast, sustainable food chain. The loch supports relatively few salmon or trout necessary for sustenance. Estimates suggest hundreds of large reptiles need tons of biomass annually. Furthermore, a reptile needs to surface regularly to breathe air. This frequent surfacing would lead to hundreds of confirmed sightings. Yet, modern acoustic surveys yield no evidence of large, moving signatures. Now that we understand ecological impossibility, let's look at the human element. Both the human brain is incredibly susceptible to misidentification and suggestion. Wake patterns, floating debris, or even large otters can deceive the eye. The water's dark, peat-stained nature further obscures clear visual confirmation. Many famous pieces of evidence were later revealed as hoaxes or errors. The famous initial photographs lacked verifiable context or detail. These images often confirm expectations rather than document reality. Humans seek patterns, even when the data suggests randomness or errors. A sudden disturbance can trigger a cascade of confirmation bias in observers. But now that we understand the psychological pitfalls, let's consider the biology again. And if a population existed, we would expect genetic remnants, EDA, to be present. An extensive environmental DNA sampling has been conducted in the deep waters. But these surveys successfully cataloged eels, fish, and microorganisms common to the area. But crucially, no DNA matching known marine reptiles has ever been isolated. But the isolation that protects the myth also prevents confirmation. If Nessie existed, the population would require hundreds, not just one survivor. The large European eel is a much more plausible candidate for misidentification. These eels can grow unusually large in the nutrient-poor environment. A large eel near the surface can easily be misinterpreted as something monstrous. And now that we've examined the science, let's reflect on the legend's power. The Loch Ness Monster is less a biological enigma and more a cultural icon. It drives tourism, fuels creativity, and embodies the mystery of the unknown. A science demands repeatability and falsifiability. The monster offers neither. The desire for a hidden world beneath the waves remains potent. Decades of organized searches have found nothing definitive to support the myth. The probability of a large, air-breathing reptile thriving undetected is effectively zero. But even a small population leaves a measurable, persistent signature on the ecosystem. This is the profound contrast between folklore and verifiable biological reality. The loch remains deep, dark, and wonderfully mysterious to the human imagination. But every small wave, every shadow, invites the possibility of a hidden giant. But our protagonist, the imaginary Loch Ness Monster, evolves with human expectations. It reflects our longing for large, undiscovered creatures in a mapped world. The scientific pursuit, however, must focus on what the evidence permits. The Plesiosaur hypothesis fails every rigorous biological and geological stress test. The real wonder lies in understanding why we continue to hope for it. It is the ultimate case study in shared cultural narrative persistence. The Loch Ness Monster is perhaps the world's most beloved, beautiful error. Its non-existence does not diminish the magic of the stories told about it. We learn that the search for evidence shapes the story more than the discovery. The complexity of this ecosystem is fascinating, even without a prehistoric giant. The creatures that live there are wonders enough for any scientist. Understanding the limits of possibility clarifies the marvel of the actual world.